Because you do know, folks, living in this country, you're bound to know that every time you're exposed to advertising, you realize once again that America's leading industry, America's most profitable business is still the manufacture, packaging, distribution, and marketing of bullshit. High quality, grade A, prime cut, pure American bullshit. And the sad part is that most people seem to have been indoctrinated to believe that bullshit only comes from certain places, certain sources, advertising, politics, salesmen. Not true. Bullshit is everywhere. Bullshit is rampant. Parents are full of shit, teachers are full of shit, clergymen are full of shit, and law enforcement people are full of shit. This entire country is completely full of shit and always has been. From the Declaration of Independence to the Constitution to the Star-Spangled Banner, it's still nothing more than one big steaming pile of red, white, and blue all-American bullshit. Because think of how we started. Think of that. This country was founded by a group of slave owners who told us all men are created equal. Oh yeah, all men, except for Indians and niggers and women, right? Always like to use that authentic American language. This was a small group of unelected white male land-holding slave owners who also suggested their class be the only one allowed to vote. Now that is what's known as being stunningly and embarrassingly full of shit. And I think Americans really show their ignorance when they say they want their politicians to be honest. What are these fucking cretins talking about? If honesty were suddenly introduced into American life, the whole system would collapse. No one would know what to do. Honesty would fuck this country up. And I think deep down Americans know that. That's why they elected and re-elected Bill Clinton. That's why. Because the American people like their bullshit right out front where they can get a good, strong whiff of it. Clinton might be full of shit, but at least he lets you know it. Dole tried to hide it, didn't he? Dole kept saying, I'm a plain and honest man. Bullshit. People don't believe that. What did Clinton say? He said, hi, folks, I'm completely full of shit, and how do you like that? And the people said, you know something? At least he's honest. At least he's honest about being completely full of shit. It's just like the business world, same as business. Everybody knows by now, all businessmen are completely full of shit. Just the worst kind of low-life criminal cocksuckers you could ever want to run into. A fucking piece of shit businessman. And the proof of it is, they don't even trust each other. They don't trust one another. When a businessman sits down and negotiates a deal, the first thing he does is to automatically assume that the other guy is a complete lying prick who's trying to fuck him out of his money. So he's got to do everything he can to fuck the other guy a little bit faster and a little bit harder. And he's got to do it with a big smile on his face. You know that big bullshit businessman smile? And if you're a customer, whoa, that's when you get the really big smile. Customer always gets that really big smile as the businessman carefully positions himself directly behind the customer and unzips his pants and proceeds to service the account. I'm servicing this account. This customer needs service. Now you know what they mean. Now you know what they mean when they say, we specialize in customer service. Whoever coined the phrase, let the buyer beware, was probably bleeding from the asshole. That's business. That's business.
Welcome, WEMF listeners, to another incredible episode of Steve Me Alone on WEMF Radio. Yeah, I hope all you loners are out there listening to Steve Me Alone and having a good Friday night. Herb, how you doing tonight? You okay? Just okay? Are you on mic 2 or mic 3? Let's try mic 2. Let's hear that.
Yo.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Now let's just use this guy. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
How's it going?
Wait, which one is this? Is that 3 or 2? Try again.
2.
Oh, yeah,
2.
you're on 2.
There we go.
Okay. Yep. Cool.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
good. We got all those technical difficulties worked out there.
Nice.
So, what's new in the world of anime?
I haven't been keeping up with a lot of anime lately, dude.
You haven't been keeping up with too much of it?
No, I've been
Okay.
not watching a lot of new anime.
I see.
I've been catching up with some of the old classics.
Yeah, you've been diving into Gundam or something else?
Yeah, actually, I've been diving into a Gundam series, Turn A Gundam. It was never released in English in the U.S., and I've been watching a couple episodes here and there.
I see. How does Turn A compare to the other Gundams that are out there?
This was pretty unique. It's like it's post-apocalyptic war. The setting is awesome. The setting is like way into the future where humanity has crawled out of the ashes of apocalyptic war, dude, and it's like in not probably Victorian or steampunk like setting, dude. So like we just reached that type of like technology again. But
So it's like a second Victorian steampunk age.
yeah, and then like so it's like, you know, like the big dresses and, you know, weird cars. But there's also like a moon race that's like trying to like reclaim some land on Earth, and hostilities between two foreign countries decline due to internal warfare. Is awesome.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I'm like 12 episodes in.
So wait, the internal warfare makes the two countries no longer as hostile toward one another?
No, it makes them more hostile.
It makes them more hostile.
Yeah, because like there's people behind the scenes on both sides that are trying to cause a war, dude. And it's kind of cool because like I said, it has this like really, well, actually the tone of it, at least up until now, has been really like like really light and like heartfelt and like, "Wah, this is fun," but like the looming horror of war is always in the background. It's awesome.
So like the war is going on in the background constantly, and you know it, or you know.
Oh,
that
it's
the
like
war
it
is
seems
coming.
to be. It seems to be building up to it, and like yeah.
Wow, cool. So there's been a new, in other anime-related news, there's been a new trend on the internet of apparently there's been an epidemic of people disrespecting anime online, and some people have made their own videos to tell the world what they think about that. So here's one right here. Listen to this.
Anime, huh? Pathetic. Think again.
Oh, he's got a knife. He's spinning it around. He's wearing a mask and a hat. He's doing some true anime moves to let people know that they better think again before they disrespect anime.
I love those videos.
Wow, how many of these are there? Here's another one.
So you just thought you could disrespect anime on my timeline and get away with it, you motherfucker?
That's a pretty good one. My favorite is just the way they get angry about it at the beginning. I enjoy that.
Me too.
I like their righteous indignation.
Notice they use the same song there.
Right, yeah. At least a couple of these have the same music. Let's see what we got here.
Disrespect anime? I hope you have a good place to hide, motherfucker.
Wow, he's got some moves.
So you want to disrespect anime, huh? Pathetic. Think again, kid.
I'm loving it.
I hope this catches on. I hope we get more.
Me too, man. I should make one.
Disrespect anime here. That's
So I don't know. What do you think? What the hell should we talk about tonight?
Should we talk about the big topic?
The big topic? What, the EMF topic?
Yeah.
I guess we might as well. I don't know. It's on a lot of people's minds right now. I don't know. I think a lot of people are feeling really disappointed at the moment.
I mean, from I'm not the smartest person in the world, but from what I heard, the city's just pretty much hung us out to dry.
It's kind of what it seems like. I don't deny that a few people within the city actually wanted to help in some way, but I mean, it seems to me that what happened was that the mayor brought us in and said, "Hey, I want to help you out. I want to do some negotiations with John DiGiovanni, the guy who owns the building.
They give us a month.
Just don't say too much, and don't make sure you don't set him off or trash him in the media by saying the wrong thing." And of course, the mayor told us this would take about a week and a half, and things got delayed. Inspections were supposed to happen. There was a news truck in the parking lot on the day the inspections were supposed to happen, so apparently the inspections could not happen because of a news truck. That doesn't make any sense to me, but that was the rationale apparently. And eventually the inspections happened. The fire report came back, directly contradicting what the fire department had told us in the past. This time the building could be a tremendous danger to its occupants and to first responders, as compared to what we were told before, which was that the building was fine and they wouldn't let people be in there if it was a hazardous building. And the whole point of the inspections was that they were supposed to get a sense of what it would cost for the building to be renovated in order for the building to be up to the standards of the city, so the city could lease it. Of course, we had a meeting with many representatives from the city the other day on Wednesday, including the mayor and Jan Devereaux, the vice mayor, and Councillor Quentin Zondervan, and the guy from the fire department, and the guy from the inspections department, and the city solicitor, and the city manager. It was kind of a big meeting. And what frustrated me the most, I think, was that the city solicitor and the city manager basically acted like it would have been preposterous for the city to lease the building in the first place, which would have been a nice thing to know a month ago when we all sort of were convinced to shut up and stop doing things because we thought that we should kind of keep quiet and allow the city to help us out. Now, I don't know. To the mayor's credit, he bought us a month. To his credit, but I don't know. What do you think?
That was part of the strategy, dude. They gave us that month so that we weren't getting kicked out. When the media was set, when we got picked up by all those publications.
Right.
They gave us a month so that we weren't getting kicked out at the same time that everyone was talking about this, so that we could, everybody today only has like a 10-minute attention span. So definitely giving us a month worked to our disadvantage, man. We were outplayed before we even knew we were in a game, dude. They did that.
It feels like a bait and switch. It feels like we were hoodwinked. It feels like a runaround. You know what I mean? Like, okay, on the one hand, we did get the month. On the other hand, there was a great moment of momentum that was going on, and we were essentially asked to be quiet and to shut up and to not make a big deal about it, so we didn't piss off this guy that we're trying to pander to, who is this like John fucking DiGiovanni, man? I don't know. We don't know that much about him. It doesn't seem like, I would love to meet with him. I would love to try to come to a deal or an agreement with him, but he does not seem to want to meet any of us. I mean, he's the president of the Harvard Square Business Association. He owns the garage down in Harvard Square. Harvard Square Business Association apparently trying to take over the kiosk at the Harvard Square Plaza down in Harvard Square. But beyond that, I don't know. Does anybody know that much about him?
I know he kicked us out of the building.
Yeah, which is just so, I don't know. The community of artists at the EMF, they bring a beautiful atmosphere, a life-affirming atmosphere to Cambridge, to Central Square. And there are so many other ways that this guy could invest this money and make all kinds of money. He already is very wealthy, does not need the money. He's set. His kids are set. His grandkids are set. His great-grandkids are probably set. His family is set for generations. He was born into a real estate family. So he was probably pretty well set up to be able to be in this position from birth, silver spoon. And the point is, the point I'm trying to make, I guess, is that, like, God, there's so many other ways he could just use that money to make money. There's so many other ways he could invest it. Well, why invest it at the cost of the quality of life in Central Square and of this community?
Because clearly he pulled the trigger on that building way before anything, dude.
Yeah.
Those people, whoever are going to be working on his new project that's going to be in 120 fucking Brookline Street in Cambridge, dude. Whatever project's coming up there, dude, like that was signed years ago, and this asshole never once even give it a thought to negotiate with us, dude. Never at all, dude. We weren't even ants underneath his fucking feet, dude. You know what, dude? Like, how the hell is society gonna fix itself, dude? Where are we gonna end up, dude? Like, holy shit, dude. Like, where's the value of things? If the only thing you find important is money, dude, like, why? Is it for power? Is it for fucking greed? Is it for comfort, dude? Like, what would make someone who has everything take away everything from somebody else, dude?
I don't know. It kind of perplexes me. You know what I mean?
What kind of, like, you know what, dude? Like, something like, I want to believe that this guy's a fucking, like, a good person, dude. Like, I want to believe that it's just, that he has mouths to feed, dude. But it's fucking very hard to do so, dude, because he's a fucking monster. He is a fucking monster. This John DiGiovanni, may he shit himself as I speak. This guy is a fucking monster, dude. He has no soul. He has... I don't even believe he's human. He's a fucking reptile from space, dude.
A space reptile?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Look, I mean, again, like, he could still change his mind and do the right thing. I mean, that option exists. It's on the table. He's written these letters to the city of Cambridge about the Boston Calling Music Festival, about how great art is and how great imagination is and love, or I forget what it says in there exactly. But, like, he could change his mind and decide to live up to his principles and make the right decision here and take his money somewhere else and invest it in such a way that he is not destroying the livelihoods of a bunch of people, in a way that he is not shattering a community, in a way that he is not taking something that brings a positive, beautiful atmosphere and cultivates a love of life in Central Square. There are other ways that he could use that money. And I guess it just baffles me that someone would choose to use their money in a way that harms other people so much when they don't need to, because they already have plenty of money, and there are other ways he could make money anyway, you know?
Oh, I got an open question for John DiGiovanni, dude. I got a question for him, dude. I'm just going to ask it on air because I got as much chance of it being answered by him asking this way than fucking writing him or calling him, because he doesn't answer any of these fucking... He doesn't reply to anything, dude.
No, people have tried. He doesn't.
My question is, did you write that statement about Boston Calling? Was it your fucking hand that wrote those words down on a piece of paper claiming and saying that art is so important? Was that really you? Huh, John? Don Giovanni, whatever the fuck? Was that really you that wrote that, dude? Are you really that big of a hypocrite, dude? Or did you pay somebody else to write those beautiful words about how art enlightens people, about how art is so goddamn important? I wonder, dude. You fucking hypocrite. You rich hypocrite, dude. May you eat your dollars in hell.
I mean, my guess is that he probably didn't write him. I mean, he probably didn't write the letter himself.
Of course, man.
But you know, it's like,
God.
if he does want to be a man of integrity, like, if he's going to sign things like that, I mean, in the first place, if you want to be a person of integrity, like, don't profit off the misery of others. In the second place, like, don't do it while claiming you support the arts. I mean, that is... yeah, I mean, it's just... It's very destructive hypocrisy, is what I would call it. Sorry, we have Tom Maroon in the studio now. Sorry, what number mic are you over there, Tom?
I'm on mic number 6.
Mic number 6. We have Tom Maroon in the studio. What's that, Tom?
Joining late. If he did write those words, I don't understand how he could sleep at night. Having written that, and given the situation with the EMF building right now, maybe he doesn't sleep well at night, and maybe he's just a really broken person. I feel like that's the only possible excuse for this kind of behavior. Like, I'm with Herb. It doesn't even seem like a human sort of thing to do to go through with all of this. But if he is a human and he's not a lizard in disguise, he's a very broken human. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, before it became so public, I could imagine a year ago, or maybe earlier than that, maybe somebody like him, maybe he just assumed, it's just another music building. There's a bunch of those, Maybe he didn't know how much people cared about the place, how much it meant to their livelihoods, how much it meant to them as human beings, how many people see this as like a very rare and beautiful community space. But, I mean, over recent weeks, we have gone to great lengths to let people know, how much the place matters to people. And there's no way that he doesn't know at this point in time, unless he is just completely insulating himself from what's going on. I mean, we managed to pull together a lot of press about the situation. A whole bunch of people went to City Hall and spoke their minds, and they made some very beautiful, impassioned speeches that were from the heart and that were not bullshit. And yet, still, you have to assume that he's been exposed to some of this. To go ahead with such a plan at this time, when he has all the money he needs in the world already, could use his money elsewhere and still invest it and make money in a different way that would not harm people. I don't know. I just don't understand, what kind of, is this Lord of the Rings with it's my precious, some kind of deep attachment to greed to the point of, or is it pride? Is it I can't be known as the guy who's going to get pushed around by a bunch of artists? But it's not a matter of getting pushed around. It's a matter of recognizing that you've made a mistake and that something you're doing is harming people and is making Cambridge a place that is not as nice to be. And from there saying, you know what, I guess I screwed up. I didn't know how important this place was to people. I didn't really understand the effect it had. I'll change my mind and I'll do something different. You know what I mean? He can do that. He should do that.
Yeah.
But we don't hear anything from him, so we have no idea if he will.
You know what, dude? Since we can't get any replies from him or anything like that, dude. If you go over to the Trinity Property Management website over here, there's a couple testimonials. They speak of our dear boy John here, dude.
Yeah. I think I've seen. Yeah,
you want to read that, right?
Yeah.
How about the part that says John is not only the most ethical and I can't read this word, but something with a P. Person.
Philanthropic. I don't know if that's
yeah, I'm not even gonna try. But the whole point is they're calling him ethical, dude, and I'm calling BS on this fucking website too, dude. There's no ethics here, dude. You're greedy. You are a bad person. And I can't believe so many people have to do business with you, dude. I bet. Oh my god, dude. And you know what, dude? When he wrote that letter that letter expressing the importance of Boston Calling, dude. I wonder how much money he made off of doing that, dude. I wonder what's the big scam in that fucking part of town, dude. Does he also own little kiosks that go up during the fucking festival? Does he have businesses around the Boston Calling? Where is it? What's the name of the park that they do that crappy festival at?
Which festival?
Boston Calling.
Oh.
Does he own businesses or properties around there that need to make money, dude? Is that why he wrote that letter, dude?
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I assume whatever buildings he owns that. I mean, I guess whatever's good for business in the area is good for him because he owns a lot of these buildings that the businesses are in. I guess is what.
What are you listening to right now, John D. Giovanni? What's in your radio right now, dude? What do you look at in your walls when you're walking down your what I assume is a very comfortable living space, dude? What's up on your walls? How much did you pay for that, dude? Is it original print? Are you listening to an EP from someone here in Boston? When was the last time you spent money on something, something like, something real? Something from the soul? I forgot you don't have one, so you wouldn't be able to recognize it, right?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure no matter how far wrong you gone, you can always turn around.
I did not become someone different
That's true.
that I did not want to be.
Listen to this. Listen to what Gil Scott Heron has to
But
say
I'm
about the
new
matter
here.
for a second now.
Will you show me around?
Gil Scott Heron went very wrong. He had a lot of problems in his life. He became a junkie.
How far wrong you've gone. You can always turn around.
No matter how far wrong you've gone, you can always turn around. I think
Met a woman in a bar.
that John DiGiovanni could turn
Thought I was
around
hard to get to know.
and change his decision.
Near about impossible to
This
forget.
one's for our boy John.
Ain't my
She
boy.
said I had an ego on me. Size of Texas.
John DiGiovanni may have an ego on him the size of Texas,
Wrong, I'm new here.
but he can always turn
And I
around.
forget. Does that mean big or small? No matter how far wrong you've gone, you can always turn around. And I'm sitting places like a snake.
But Herbari, what else is on that testimonials page from the website?
But I'm the closest.
Oh wait, I think I just found it. Here's the first one. I have dealt with John DiGiovanni and 50 Church Street Realty Trust in 2 major lease deals in the last 10 years. One was 10 years ago and the other was 10 days ago. In between, I have dealt with many other landlords. First, John owns and runs great buildings. Second, John is not not according to the city, he doesn't at this point. Second, John is not only the most ethical and principled person, much less landlord, I have dealt with in my business career. The most ethical and principled person that this person has ever dealt with in their business career. I don't think, it is not ethical in principle to sign letters about how important arts and imagination are, and then to evict hundreds of artists from their community space, and to diminish the quality of life in Cambridge by removing that atmosphere that is created by those artists from the city. It's like, it just seems like bullshit, like how did he even get this testimonial written? This is the co-founder and current owner of Fire and Ice at Harvard Square, I guess.
I want to know what the people who wrote those testimonials would have to say about this situation.
I would like to know too. In fact, I might add this guy on Facebook and try to find out if I can find him.
Yeah, see if that lives up to the standard that they feel he's set of principles and ethics.
Yeah, we could ask them do you still think that now? After you've heard about this situation,
right?
Do you feel like that is true? John Shaw. There's a few John Shaws here on the Facebook. You might have to browse through, just try to add all of them or something.
Send them all a message.
Yeah.
Are you the one?
Are you the one who has spoken about John P. DiGiovanni? What else? The Harvard Co-op and Trinity Properties enjoy a long and valued business relationship, and equally important, a shared commitment to Harvard Square and the surrounding community. Hold up, guess what's part of the surrounding community? Central Square.
Yeah.
Guess what makes Central Square a nice, cool place for people to visit? The arts community that has been there for a long time. Guess what Central Square is called? The Cultural District of Cambridge. Guess what's a key part of the culture? The arts community that's there that John is trying to kick out. Change your mind, John.
So how does that work, the cultural district? Is it like in about 5 years when there's no culture there, people are just going to forget that it was ever called the cultural district and then that goes away? Or do we have to actually make a petition and vote that they stop calling it the cultural district?
I don't know. I kind of think that we should actually do that. If EMF does get kicked out, I think we should demand that it no longer be called the Cultural District. It should be called the fucking Cambridge Cultural Wasteland.
You know what? Because I don't want a place that I once loved to be seen as hypocrites, like the person that we're having to deal with here. This Johnny.
Well,
Johnny
and
Giovanni.
that's kind of what's at the heart of this, I guess. Though it's like it's the same thing. There are people in the Cambridge government who are trying, and I don't want to diminish that. But at the same time, like
are
the
they
general,
trying, Like, are they really trying, dude? Like.
Some of them are, I think.
Tell me, were they really trying, dude, or like telling us to wait and making us wait when we were on the clock, but just and then telling us that there was nothing they could do, like it was preposterous that they could do something, dude. Isn't that like a little? It's kind of sneaky. That kind of feels like I was being played a little bit, dude. It kind of feels like a little shady, really.
I feel like I feel like we were hoodwinked, to be honest. You know.
So is that really helping? Is that really trying, dude?
I think there are some people who were trying. I think. I don't know. I get the sense that Quentin Zondervan and Jan Devereaux were trying. I mean, that said, it doesn't. Even if they are as individuals trying, it doesn't really matter if the overarching function of the system is that the only function is in a symbolic way. If it's there to provide lip service, if it's a chance for Mayor Mark McGovern to leave the meeting that we're in to go and say a quick speech about autism awareness and tell people like, oh yeah, donate to that, please. I mean, is that all it is? You know, like they shouldn't pretend that they can change the underlying structure of an unjust system where a guy like John DiGiovanni can just do this if they can't.
But why was it so one way? How come the mayor never went up to Don Giovanni and made him answer our questions or ask the questions that we were asking? Or they pleaded with us, dude. How come the mayor never went the other way, dude? How come they only went in our direction? Whenever Giovanni wanted to tell us to shut up or something, it came in our direction, nice, perfectly and clear. How come it didn't go the other way around? How come Don Giovanni never heard my idea for
look? I believe
starting a new business, dude.
Well, maybe he still can. I don't know. Maybe there's a way to get it to him, but it's not easy. He seems to be a very elusive guy. I mean, I think that Mayor Mark McGovern did probably actually go and discuss the idea of DiGiovanni allowing the city to lease the building. I mean, the real problem that I saw at the meeting that we were in on Wednesday is it seems like that was not even a plausible idea in the first place. I mean, granted, the mayor did tell us, like, okay, it's a long shot, but by the same token, like, the city manager and the city solicitor came in there and acted as if this was ridiculous. I mean, John Glancy brought up, like, oh, well, what if we, the artists, could find a way to privately fund whatever renovations were necessary to get this building to meet whatever codes are necessary for the city to lease it and to allow us to continue to occupy it. And, like, it kind of seemed like the city solicitor just looked at him like he was crazy. And, like, the city manager just was like, well, even in that case, we couldn't do it. And it's like, okay, so why have we been waiting around for a month while you've told us to not really speak about this too much, you know? And why have we allowed the momentum of what we were doing to be broken and put our faith in, you know, this attempt to negotiate a leasing agreement with the city if it is totally implausible for the city to lease the goddamn building in the first place? So it leaves me really wondering about what exactly Mark McGovern was doing there. Did he not bother to ask the city manager, oh, like, is this even possible? Are you in favor of this? Did he not bother to talk to the city solicitor about that? Or did he know and he just didn't really bother to tell us because it was sort of politically expedient? And he wanted to, like, look like the good guy who tried, knowing full well that there wasn't a chance in hell it was going to happen. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, like, I can't support that. I can't support somebody like trying to make themselves look like the good guy while they're actually like making it less and less likely for the people who actually need help to be able to accomplish their goals, to be able to maintain this character in Central Square and like keep this community from being.
Well, I don't get it. Where is this, like, why are you giving this guy a benefit of the doubt? Why don't you like just right away like look at it? If the
I don't know, maybe I give people the benefit of the doubt too much. Maybe I shouldn't at all. You know, I mean, maybe he did just fucking hoodwink us completely. I don't know. He did get us a month, you know? And I suppose what we should have done in retrospect was we should have taken the month and said, like, thank you for that. And then just continued to build momentum however he did. Now, granted, he may have come back after that, you know, and said, like, oh, all that, well, you said this one little wrong thing and it set him off and, oh, it can't work anymore. But we tried. You guys screwed it up for yourself. It's like, it's kind of set up in such a way that any way you slice it, like, we either get delayed to hell or the blame is on us. Seems to be the arrangement there, like, and like I don't know. I don't think I mean, if it was proven to be outright fraud in some way, I'm sure that would be illegal, but I doubt there's any way to prove that it was any kind of outright fraud. But to me, it feels like we were hoodwinked, and it feels like the runaround. And it's really disappointing. And it also makes me wonder, like, if Cambridge is supposedly one of the most, like, progressive cities in the nation on this kind of thing, like, goddamn, where are we at? Where are we at as a nation if basically with the city of Cambridge, it pretty much comes down to lip service, and the reality is simply that guys who are born into wealth, who do own all this stuff, can just do what they want. That's just how it works. And there's no stopping them through any government institution, and you can't talk to them, apparently, because they don't seem to want to talk to you. They just want to continue doing what they're doing, you know? It's really, and I feel like from our point of view, it's like a very bizarre experience, because, like, there's this shadowy figure of this guy that we've never met, that we don't know anything about, and he is apparently the person responsible for this, and we have this, like, and he owned the building for 2 years, and nobody knew who he was, because it was in the name of a shell corporation, Lidgemore, and I don't know, it's almost as if some kind of outside alien influence is controlling things, you know what I mean? It's like the movie They Live.
Or the innovators from Gundam 00.
What are the innovators in Gundam 00? How does that work? Are they like controlling things kind of behind the scenes, and like nobody really knows who they are?
Yeah. Not only were they controlling not only did they like oh man, so cool. Yeah, they were behind everything. The Eolia Schimberg's plan, the Union, everything. They were behind everything. It was awesome.
That's exactly what this is.
Well, I don't know. For me, it's just like, this is really personal for me, because like throughout my life, I've repeatedly seen this kind of thing happen, where like I used to volunteer at the Oak Street Theater in Minneapolis. And like that was a really cool like community movie theater where they played a bunch of cool old movies. I saw a lot of great movies there. I'd go over there and watch Kurosawa films. I saw like the original Japanese version of Godzilla when it was released there, because they released that way late, 10 years ago or something. See old blaxploitation movies, Truck Turner with Isaac Hayes, stuff like that. And that place ended up getting knocked down and turned into expensive student housing. Okay, that place is gone. There's one little piece of human community that brings love into the world that is gone. And then, more recently, the Out of the Blue. Not a perfect place, but it was another beautiful human community that brought love into the world. Yep. And rising rents and the whole fiasco with the way it was judgmentally perceived by people. Bam, that place is gone. It's like, where can you get a goddamn foothold? What is the future for people? I mean, are you expected only to associate with a small number of friends when you have some time after you're done working long hours so you can afford the rent at a super expensive place? I mean, is the message here just like, if you don't have one of these really high-paying jobs and your goal is not always to be in a tech position, get the fuck out of here? Like, what are people supposed to do? Like, there's a lot of people in this country who don't fit into what is being established here.
It seems like we have to go back it seems like we have to become slaves, dude. It seems like you can't afford to fucking have a comfortable life, so you have to work 2 fucking jobs. So the majority of your time, you're doing something for another rich fuck just like this asshole, dude. And then when you're out of your 2 jobs, you can't even go make music or make art or enjoy yourself because you're too fucking tired and you can't afford to have, or there's no fucking places around to go to, or there's nothing but fucking endless TV and, I don't know, probably drugs and shit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, dude. It is slavery. It's a new fucking level of slavery we're working towards, dude.
In a way, yeah. I mean, or feudalism or something. I mean, it's definitely something that approaches slavery, Yeah. It's just like the screws keep getting turned. I don't know.
I love the Out of the Blue Gallery, man.
Yeah, the Out of the Blue Gallery was fucking awesome. Like, that was another place where beautiful, interesting things could happen. People could get together, create collaborations, bring great ideas out into the world. That happiness would spread from that place to other places.
What's next? What's gonna happen when they go after the Middle East? And the Middle East is gone and turned into a goddamn apartment building.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's next, guys? The Phoenix Landing?
I mean, I don't know.
That
I doubt they'll be able to get rid of everything. I mean, but then again, it seems like if people like DiGiovanni and Novartis and everybody else, maybe the Cantab. It seems like if they had their way, the place would just be filled with, I guess, nice luxury condos, many of which are unoccupied, that people are just, using to maintain the value of their wealth. Tech facilities, maybe medical facilities. Hey, medical facilities, that's great. It's just too bad that the access to good health care seems to vary depending upon what kind of money you have. But I don't know. It's like, I think, honestly, it should be something that concerns all the people just living in those houses around there, too. You know what I mean? Because if Novartis had their way, if MIT had their way, if people like John DiGiovanni had their way, all of it would be just big, tall office buildings, and the entire sort of human-scale world that they inhabit would be gone, would be slowly pushed out bit by bit. And meanwhile, they'd probably keep on updating the goddamn mural over behind the Micro Center, which depicts people fighting against a highway coming through Central Square. Like there was a highway that was going to destroy Central Square. It was planned in the 50s, 60s, something like that. It was eventually fully stopped by the 70s. But that was just going to tear apart that whole neighborhood and go right through Somerville. And it was actually slated to go along Brookline Street where the EMF building is. Oh, wow. But people in the community stood up and said, no, we don't want our whole community destroyed by a highway, and they stopped it. And there's a mural behind Central Square which celebrates the fact that happened. They repainted it last summer. So that's what's going on. I mean, that was the Arts Council, I think, paid for that. That tells you everything you need to know about the city of Cambridge when they pay to fix up this symbolic mural about people fighting to maintain their communities and their way of life and the beauty in their neighborhoods. But meanwhile, there just doesn't seem to be anything they can actually do about all of the life being sucked out of a neighborhood, about River Gods going down, about TT the Bears going down, about the lady from River Gods getting screwed over on the whole liquor license thing and losing all this money when she's sick and trying to retire. It's just really frustrating that it's not more clearly what it is. It almost makes me feel like, it's great that Donald Trump is president. If the Hillary Clinton, if the Democrats in power would have been similar to the sort of quote-unquote progressive government of Cambridge today, isn't it better to just have some guy who is so blatantly a narcissistic, bully, greedy, shithead fucking asshole like Trump? Because it's at least fucking obvious. You at least know what you're dealing. This guy's horrible, and we know he's horrible. But when it comes down to something like the Cambridge scenario, where it's yes, Cambridge celebrates the art. We have a cultural district. We have a great mural about fighting against something destroying our communities. But then meanwhile, it's in the last 5 years, River Gods goes down, TT the Bears goes down, Out of the Blue goes down. Now the EMF, they're coming for the EMF now. And it doesn't seem like the city can do anything about it. If it's all just symbolic, and I'll just I don't know. I'm not saying it would actually be better with Trump, but I'm saying you'd at least know what you're dealing with the guy. Yeah, you know what you're dealing with, dude. But you wouldn't. There's still no way to fight him. There's still no way of fighting him. Yeah, I know. Even right. That's true. Whether you have the people a fucking antagonist that stands tall in front of the crowd, or somebody who does shit behind the scenes, dude. How the hell are you gonna fight this, dude? How do you fight this? What the hell is going on? How do you fight this nowadays, I don't know, dude? I mean, the thing is, what I'm sort of trying to fight is the destruction of community bonds and the destruction of art that brings life into the world. However, the more that community bonds are destroyed and the more that life being brought into the world is destroyed, the less you're actually able to fight it. Because the less connected people are, the less they have a sense of community, the more they're looking at their smartphones all goddamn day long, and they only have a couple of friends they might not even know that well. The less capable you are of forming a community that can actually change things and challenge the way things are. I like that. So that's true. It sucks. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how you find a solution to that. What was the other meeting you went to the other day that were kind of with the house? Wait, what was that group again? I believe it's the Harvard Square Neighborhood Association. The Harvard Square Neighborhood Association. That was encouraging to be there. How are those guys? I mean, they seem cool. A lot of them are there. They're unhappy with John DiGiovanni because he apparently, he owns a whole bunch of stuff there. Seems like a lot of people don't have a very high opinion of the way he conducts himself down there. As I understand it, the city was about ready to just give the news kiosk, which has been occupied by Out of Town News for a long time. It is public property, but Out of Town News been renting it since the 80s, I think. They were about ready to just give that over to the Harvard Square Business Association.
Of course they are.
And then people in the community are like, well, wait a second. This is public property. Why is the city just giving this to the Harvard Square Business Association? Doesn't the community get some say? Isn't this a democracy? Shouldn't the community have a say in what happens with this, historical public landmark thing? And so, I don't know, there was a lot of older people at that meeting, but I was pleasantly surprised to find that they were quite sympathetic. And I think there are a lot of people in this city who are just fed up with this shit. But I don't think they're incredibly well connected together right now. And I hope that we can have some kind of future where people become more well connected together, and they begin to start to make a push, and they start to say, hey, we're the people who live here, we matter, and we want to have lives that are filled with beauty and with art and with communities, and we're just not going to let you do this. We're going to physically block you from doing it.
What the hell are these
disobedience or whatever,
Dude, what the hell are these other fucking hypocrites that like flip a lid, show up to fucking parks and protest when somebody says the wrong fucking thing, or whenever somebody like makes wild claims? Where the fuck are these fucking retards at, dude? Where are these guys at?
That's a very good question, actually.
What are these fucking social justice warriors, dude? They're so fucking itchy for a goddamn fight, but don't step up to shit like this. Don't step up to fucking neighborhoods being taken over by greedy people.
Yeah. Well, I think
your world is. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say the tragedy of that is that it seems to me that again it's a thing with some symbolism. Like people have been they've gotten lost in a simulacrum, if you will, like where it no longer matters to. It doesn't really. And it almost functions like a religious experience to them, where they go out and they protest the bad thing that was said or something like that. And like they have this catharsis, and they have this catharsis. But they're not actually changing anything because they're only protesting symbolism, Or in cases like the Out of the Blue, they're changing things for the worse because they actually don't know what they're protesting because they haven't actually gone there to examine it. They've just heard one thing and they just assume that. I don't know. It's like I don't know why people have to have like a witch to hunt in order to get mobilized. I don't know. I'm not saying we need to turn John DiGiovanni into a witch to hunt. But at the same time, it's like, God, is that the only way for people to get together? I would love it if people could get together to fight for something that matters, like community and like, an artistic atmosphere and like bringing love into the world. That's what I want to see. But that also, I think, does involve telling people like John DiGiovanni, hey, you can't do this. This is wrong for you to do this. And finding a way and say, like, yeah, okay, that's how our market system currently works in this country, but it's also tyrannical that you're doing this. So we as a group, we've decided we're not going to let you.
Well.
Which is not necessarily an easy thing to do, There's civil disobedience. There's other things. The law as it functions basically supports their right to do this kind of thing. It supports the right of the super wealthy to like screw up other people's lives and cause misery in order to make money whenever they want, apparently. I'm not sure how you change that.
Invest in pseudocurrencies.
Pseudocurrency? You mean cryptocurrencies?
Oh, that's what
I think that's what I honestly think that is not a bad idea for John DiGiovanni. Not that I really want to give John DiGiovanni any tips, but it certainly seems like that whole scene might be taking off. And John, I will give you that tip if you're willing to just give over the EMF building. Damn it, I already gave him now he's just going to buy Bitcoin and screw over the EMF community. Don't do that, John. It's the wrong thing to do. Sell that EMF building for what you bought it for and just buy $4 million worth of Bitcoin. Put a little bit of it into Bitcoin Cash, get a few of those other things like Ethereum and EOS and whatever else would have you. Funfair, there's one called Funfair. That's the funniest named cryptocurrency, I think. It's like some kind of thing for an online casino.
Was it? You know what, dude? Why don't you do like? You know what, John? I got a different suggestion. Why don't you like do what like other rich people have been doing lately and doing cool shit like putting cars in space?
Hell yeah!
So like
join
start a
Elon
band.
Musk and like embrace humanity's future in the stars, dude.
Enjoy yourself.
You can use those $4 million for something better.
Yeah, you're already a business tycoon. You're a big landlord, dude. Let's move on from this. Just give up. Split the company up. Let everybody else have a go at it. And just retire. Go die in an island somewhere. Happy.
Or go to space. You could go to space. You have the resources to go to space. How amazing would that be? And it might even give you some perspective when you look down upon that pale blue dot that we live on. You know, when you see where all of human history has taken place and all the history of life on Earth. When you see where tyrants have ruled and where blood has been shed from the sky, where billions of loving couples have existed, where tribes have fought with one another. When you see all of those things and you see them below you and outside of them, you might garner some kind of perspective, and you might realize, you know what? Screwing up a community and taking the spirit out of Central Square, out of the cultural district, it's not such a big deal. The few million there, that's not such a big deal. There's other ways to make a few million. And plus, you should probably just start making spaceships. That's my feeling on the matter. But you're right, maybe you should just go chill on an island or something. He totally could. He could ride a yacht around the world. He could move on to, there's like a cruise ship for rich people. I think it's called The World. I'm pretty sure that still exists. I read about it a few years ago. Which is actually a little bit scary because apparently if rich people lived on this, they can buy like condos on a cruise ship. And if they live there like enough of the year, they could hypothetically not have to pay personal income taxes in any country on Earth.
Good, we'll sink them.
So just go there or move there, John. Yeah. Well, it was weird. I dove into it on the internet and I looked at their route where they go, and I noticed they didn't go very close to Somalia, which is on the coast, because there was all those stories about like Somali pirates around that time. So guys are a little bit worried about that, aren't they? I don't know. What do we have? Do we have more to say? I guess it's, clearly we're both very frustrated with this situation. Please meet with us, John DiGiovanni. Just meet with us, and maybe we can convey to you. We're not trying to hate you. I don't hate you.
I fucking hate him.
Well, Herb hates you. I mean, it's like if you go through with this, I definitely will hate you. But I don't know that hate gets much done, and I feel like, the reality is you could change your mind, and you should. If you don't, a lot of people are going to hate you, and they'll be justified in hating you.
He's a hypocrite, too.
Because of
being a hypocrite.
Because of not only shattering a community but also being totally hypocritical while you do so.
Mr. Burns.
So hey, you can change your mind, John. Please do.
Don't
be Mr. Burns.
Yeah, don't be Mr. Scrooge. Was another character like that? I don't know.
Yeah, Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, who else was kind of like that?
The Grinch who stole Christmas in a way.
That dude from Dirty Works.
Who's the guy from Dirty Works? I haven't seen Dirty Works in so long.
I forgot what was his
Chris
name.
Farley?
No, he was in Dirty Works, but he wasn't like the main bad guy. What's the name bad guy, dude?
The main, I don't remember. But
wasn't it the clown dude?
The clown dude?
The dude that played it.
Oh, shit, I don't know. I don't remember who played it. But hey, do you remember what happened at the end of The Grinch Who Stole Christmas?
He had a heart attack.
Let's listen to what happened at the end. It's still not impossible for this to happen, John.
What happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
His heart just grew 3 sizes.
The true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2.
That could be you, bro.
And then he decided not to ruin Christmas. And that could be you, John.
not ruining the community and not making Cambridge a lamer place to be.
What a piece of shit. I bet like showing him all this and talking to him in person wouldn't even change anything, dude.
I don't know. I mean, I really can't know because it's like so hard to meet him.
I've never had less faith in a person than this guy, dude. I'm not even kidding, dude. It's just like it's fucking wow. It's disgusting. It's mind-boggling, dude. I can't believe it, dude. Like wow, dude. This guy's evil, man.
It is baffling. It is extremely baffling. He may be evil. Who knows? There's the outside chance that he'll turn around and decide, you know what? I don't want to be evil. And he'll do something different and change course. But I guess at this point we don't know. Well, I don't know, Herb. I don't know. What do you think? Do we have more to say about this? Should we talk about something else? Should we move on and complete the show for tonight and finish her off at this point?
I'm okay not talking about this anymore.
All right, cool. Well, I don't know. I guess it's getting a little bit late out there. So glad all of you loners tuned in tonight. Matt Stearns, it's always good to have you on the other end. I can feel your heart beating through this microphone, man. I know you're out there. Tony, it's good to have you listening. All you other loners out there, thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for listening in. We hope to see more of you soon. We hope to see more of you in a world where the arts can continue to thrive in Cambridge. Cambridge is a beautiful place. It's a town that's got a very interesting style, a beautiful style. It has a wonderful atmosphere that is rare. It represents a lot of what's good with America. And let's hope that the Grinch decides not to steal Christmas. Let's hope his heart grows a few sizes. Let's hope that Scrooge finds the meaning of Christmas. Ask that little boy, what day is it today? And the little boy says, well, today is Christmas Day. Here's hoping that John P. DiGiovanni is visited by the ghost of EMF past, the ghost of EMF present, and the ghost of EMF future, and they convey to him what is truly meaningful in this life. But for now, unless Herb or Tom have any final words, I think it's about time for us to sign off for the night. We'll see you all next week. All you loners, all you Steve Me Alone, WEMF.com listeners. Stay strong, and we will see you very soon.
There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. No. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interests. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back. so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people. White collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all. Yeah. You know? And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on. The fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant of the big red, white, and blue dick that's being jammed up their assholes every day. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it. Reason.